The shrine of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali is one of the oldest and renowned sites of pilgrimage, which comprises the mosque and burial site of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali, the third Imam of Shia Islam, in the city of Karbala, Iraq. It stands on the site of the Mausoleum of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali, the second grandson of Muhammad, near the place where he was martyred during the Battle of Karbala in 680 CE. The tomb of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali is one of the holiest places for Shias outside of Mecca and Medina, and many make pilgrimages to the site. Every year, millions of pilgrims visit the city to observe Ashura, which marks the anniversary of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali's death. The Umayyad and Abbasid caliphs prevented construction of the shrines and discouraged pilgrimage to the sites. The tomb and its annexes were destroyed by Abbasid Caliph Al-Mutawakkil in 850 to 851, and Shia pilgrimage was prohibited, but shrines in Karbala and Najaf were built by the Buwayhid emir al-Daula in 979-80. The boundary wall of the shrine surrounds wooden gates covered with glass decorations. The gates open into a courtyard separated into smaller rooms or precincts with many iwans along the walls. The grave of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali is enclosed within a metal mesh-like structure, found directly beneath the Golden Dome. On March 5, 2013, the process of replacing the zari over the tomb of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali was completed and the new zari inaugurated. Al-Abbas Mosque is located nearby. History of Karbala. Karbala, a city in Iraq, is located about 100 kilometers southwest of Baghdad at 32.61 degree N, 44.08 degree E. It was at first a desolate place and did not witness any noteworthy activity, although it was rich in water and its soil was fertile. When Imam Hussain arrived at Karbala and was surrounded by the forces of Ubaydullah bin Ziyad, he inquired about the name of the place. Someone replied it is AQR, meaning a hash, a unregistered trademark. Imam Hussain then said, "We seek refuge with Allah from Al-Aqr." He once again asked the name of the village. Then one of the attendants replied, "Its name is Karbala." Imam Hussain spontaneously declared, "Land of Karb and Bala, unregistered trademark, meaning a torture and trial a." In the time of Imam Hussain, the place was also known as Al-Adiriyah, Nainawa, and Shat al-Furat. Imam Hussain bought a piece of land, after his arrival at Karbala, from Bani Asad. He and his Ahl al-Bayt are buried in that portion, known by his hair, where the shrines are presently located. The history of destruction and reconstruction of the shrines of Karbala is long. Both the shrines were greatly extended by successive Muslim rulers, but suffered repeated destruction from attacking armies. Karbala's development was strongly influenced by the Persians. History has recorded the names of several rulers who shared the honor of extending, decorating and keeping the shrines and its precincts in good condition. Among them is Fatih Ali Qajar, who in 1250 ordered the construction of two shrines, one over Imam Husayn, a unregistered trademark grave, and the other over the grave of his brother, Imam Abul Fazl al-Abbas ibn Ali. The first dome is 27 meters high and completely covered with gold. At the bottom, it is surrounded with 12 windows, each of which is about 1.25 m away from the other, from the inside, and 1.30 m from the outside. The shrine has an area of 59 m/75 m with 10 gates, and about 65 rooms, well decorated from the inside and outside, and used as classrooms for studying. As for the grave itself, which is in the middle of the precinct, it is called the Rawza or garden, and it has several doors. The most famous one is called Al-Qibla or Bab al-Sahar, unregistered trademark Ab. Karbala consists of some places like Ganj-e Shahida, where all the followers of Imam Hussain were buried, and Qtalgah, where Imam Hussain and his followers fought with the Syrian army. Quran. Some Shias consider this verse to refer to Shia sacred sites of Najaf and Karbala, since the Islamic view of Lot claims Lot lived in which lies in present-day Iraq. But we delivered him and his nephew Lot and directed them to the land which we have blessed. Hadith. The mosque stands on the site of the grave of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali, where he was martyred during the Battle of Karbala in 680. Up to 8 million pilgrims visit the city to observe a Shara, which marks the anniversary of Imam Husayn ibn Ali's death. but the main event is 40th of Arba'in of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali, where up to 22 million visit the holy graves, and most of the pilgrims travel barefooted from all around Iraq and more than 56 countries. There are many Shia traditions which narrate the status of Karbala. O Karbala, where your grandson and his family will be killed, is the most blessed and the most sacred land on earth, and it is one of the valleys of paradise. O God chose the land of Karbala as a safe and blessed sanctuary 24,000 years before he created the land of the Kaaba and chose it as a sanctuary. Verily it, Karbala will shine among the gardens of paradise, like a shining star shines among the stars for the people of earth. Not one night passes in which Gabriel and Michael do not go to visit him, Hussain. Also there are many Sunni traditions which narrate the status of Imam Husayn Ibn Ali and Karbala. Abu Hurairah narrated, the Prophet looked toward Ali, Hussein, and Fatima, and then said, I am in war with those who will fight you, and in peace with those who are peaceful to you. Also it is narrated that, the Messenger of Allah said, Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. Also, the Messenger of Allah said, he who loves Al-Hassan and Al-Hussein, has loved me, and he who makes them angry has made me angry. Thus the tomb of the martyred Imam has acquired this great significance in all Muslim tradition because the Imam and his fellow martyrs are seen as models of jihad in the way of God. Karbala, origin and meaning. There are many opinions among different investigators as to the origin of the word Karbala. Some have pointed out that Karbala has a connection to the Karbalato language, while others attempt to derive the meaning of word Karbala by analyzing its spelling and language. They conclude that it originates from the Arabic word Karbabel, which was a group of ancient Babylonian villages that included Nainawa, Al-Adarilia, Kabaya, Al-Norais, and Al-Hir. This last name is today known as Al-Hir and is where Imam Husayn Ibn Ali unregistered trademark grave is located. The investigator Yaqt al-Hamai had pointed out that the meaning of Karbala could have several explanations, one of which is that the place where Imam Husayn Ibn Ali was martyred is made of soft earth al-Karbalat. According to Shia belief, the true meaning of the name Karbala was narrated to Muhammad by the Archangel Gabriel as being, the land which will cause many agonies and afflictions. Buried within the mosque, the grave of Imam Hussain is found in the middle of the precinct, and is called the Rawda, or garden, and it has several entry gates. The most famous one is called Al-Qibla, or Babi al-Dhahab. When it is entered, one can see the tomb of Hababi ibn Madahir al-Asada, to the right-hand side. Hababi was a friend and companion of Imam Hussain since their childhood and was honored with martyrdom at the Battle of Karbala. Within the shrine of Imam Hussain can also be found a grave of all the 72 martyrs of Karbala. They were buried in a mass grave which was then covered with soil to the ground level. This mass grave is at the foot of Imam Husain's grave. As well, beside Imam Husain's grave are the graves of his two sons, Imam Allah al-Akbar and the 6-month-old, Allah al-Asghar. Also buried within the mosque is Imam Ibrahim, who spent his life preaching about Karbala. Martyrdom and popularity. Karbala was at first an uninhabited place and did not witness any constructional activity, although it was rich in water and its soil fertile. From the time of Imam Husayn ibn Ali's death in 680, pilgrimages to commemorate the massacre have often been repressed. Despite many attempts by successive rulers, such as al-Rashidi and al-Mutawakkil, to put a restriction on the development of this area, it has nonetheless spread with time to become a city. Early development and specifications. The historian Ibn Qulaway mentioned that those who buried Imam Husayn ibn Ali made a special and rigid construction with signs above the grave. Higher and bigger constructions above the grave started during the ruling of al-Safa, but heavy restrictions were put in place to prevent people from visiting the grave during the rule of Harun al-Rashidi. At the time of al-Ma'mun, construction around the grave resumed until the year 850, when al-Mutawakkil ordered the destruction and digging of the grave, and then filling the pit with water. His son who succeeded him al-Muntazir, allowed people to visit the grave site, and since then building the precinct of the grave increased and developed step by step. On the other hand, the historian Ibn al-Athir, stated that in the year 371 AH, al-Daula became the first to largely lay the foundations for large-scale construction, and generously decorated the place. He also built houses and markets around the precinct, and surrounded Karbala with a high boundary wall, turning it into a strong castle. In the year 407 AH, the precinct caught fire due to the dropping of 2 large candles on the wooden decorations. The state minister at the time, Husayn ibn Ali, rebuilt the damaged sections. History has recorded the names of several rulers who shared the honor of widening, decorating or keeping the precinct in good condition. Amongst them is Fatwa Ali Shah Haqqa, who in 1250 AH ordered the construction of 2 domes, one over Imam Husayn ibn Ali's grave and the other over his brother Imam Abbas ibn Ali. The first dome is 27 meters high and completely covered with gold. At the bottom, it is surrounded with 12 windows, each of which is about 1.25 m away from the outside. The mausoleum has an area of 59 m/75 m with 10 gates, and about 65 rooms, well decorated from the inside and outside, used as classrooms for studying. Timeline: the following events are in chronological order, stating instances that widely involved the shrine, impressing its construction, renovation and series of extremist activities that reduced its structure and killed pilgrims from time to time. See also, Arba'in, Al-Abbas Mosque, holiest sites in Islam. Notes. References, Agay, Cameron Scott. The Martyrs of Karbala, Shia Symbols and Rituals in Modern Iran. University of Washington Press. ISBN 0-295-98448-1, Lichvok, Mu. Shia Scholars of 19th Century Iraq, the Ulema of Najaf and Karbala. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 0-521-89296-1, Al-Muzuri, Musin. Reading Iraq, Culture and Power and Conflict. I.B. Torres. ISBN 1-84511-070-6, Shimony, Yusuf and Levine, Evita. Political Dictionary of the Middle East in the 20th Century. Quadrangle New York Times Book Company. External links, in pictures, Pilgrims in Karbala, BBC News Online. Shia Shrines of Karbala, Sacred Destinations,